Thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners. We're back at the Creek, Albion Park Saturday night. Feature racing as well, the main two-year-old event, or the first two-year-old event of the season as far as feature race status is concerned, takes place. It's the Changeover two-year-old classic, a field of 7 over a mile. An intriguing race though, it's loaded with quality, so really looking forward to that race. That's race number 7 on the program. There's also a very good free-for-all race as well. Turn It Up, who's been tackling the stand, he's back behind the mobile and he comes up with gate 4. Manila Playboy finally gets a draw. He comes up with gate number 1, so that's another highlight as well. 10 races, we start at 5:15. In this edition of Weekend Winners, proudly brought to you by One Equine. For the equine athlete, we're going to catch up with the McMullen siblings, Pete and younger sister Narissa. They've both got some really good drives, so I'm keen to hear their thoughts ahead of Saturday night. Pete McMullen now joins us to go through his drives. He's with us. Pete, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
We've got a great night of racing coming our way, headlined by the Changeover two-year-old classic. We'll get to your drive in that race in just a moment. Let's start with the opening race. Whisper a Secret. This is a high-quality horse. You've finally got yourself back behind him, but he's got an awful barrier draw. So the timing just a little off with you reuniting with this guy?
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, a bit of a tough gate, but as you say, he's got a lot of quality there, and he seems to be able to overcome these obstacles.
It's an awful gate, let's be honest.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't pick it if you had the choice.
Well, it looks like it's just going to be fence-dominated here. Pacifico Dream Draw on gate 1, OK Boomer on his back. So where does that leave you? Where do you want to be with Whisper a Secret?
Yeah, I know where I want to be, but it's probably not going to happen. So, yeah, look, he's such a versatile horse. He can sort of make his own luck. He's got good speed to put him into a race, start, finish, and it doesn't really matter. He's just, we just need something to go our way or just be able to do something with it at some stage. So, yeah, we just have to wait and see. But, yeah, if anything goes his way, he'll be right there.
All right. Well, we know he's got the class. There's no doubt about that. Runner-up in the Queensland Derby last year. He's won 3 of his last 4. I reckon that last start performance was probably one of his best because fast lead time, he was taken on throughout, and he kept finding. And it was 2,138 metres. There was a lot to like about that performance.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably the first time we really had to see how much bottom he's had, and he just sort of showed how strong he can be as well. We sort of always knew he could, but most of the time, because he is so versatile, he's either sort of been in front or had a bit of cover and that. But yeah, he had to burn hard early and kept the tempo moving and was still strong through the line. So yeah, we just have to wait and see what happens Saturday night. But yeah, he can sort of do it all. So. Yeah, fingers crossed we just get a break somewhere. So
as good as it was to see him doing it at both ends in that last start performance, his speed is still his best asset, right?
Oh, I think so, but yeah, look, he's just such a neat little horse. His speed, he can carry his speed a long way, and he can, he's got good point-to-point speed. He switches off. He can nearly do anything. So, which is why he's such a good little racehorse.
All right. Well, that's Whisper a Secret, and just for the record, I think you've driven him 7 times so far. This is the second time that you get to drive him this year in 2024. So that's Whisper a Secret. What about race 4? Let's move to this mare's qualifying pace, or this qualifying pace. Robin X, the mare, she comes up with gate 1. She's been a ripper for the stable, and barrier 1 gives her an excellent chance.
Yeah, she's been a real good little find down in New Zealand, just a cheapie, and she's come over here and done a really good job since she's been here, and it's a fortnight between runs. Unfortunately, I would have probably rather week to week, but she's got a good draw and form on the board, so we know she can cut a pretty big mile. So fingers crossed we can hold up and keep it moving.
Do you think you can lead from barrier 1, looking at that front line?
Yeah, I think so. The last sort of few probably don't look like she's got a lot of gate speed, but we've been able to sort of work forward, whereas I do think it is there when we need it. So yeah, I see her in front, and hopefully that's where we are.
Okay. If she doesn't lead, she can still win, right?
Yeah, definitely. She probably needs a bit of a tempo, but she can definitely still win off a helmet.
Okay, well, that's Robin X in race 4, looking to maintain her very consistent form since joining the stable. Race 5, number 1, Eloisa Dale. She was much better last time out. Barrier 1, 1 mile. Do you just get the tick of approval to try and lead all the way here?
Yeah, well, that's definitely what we're going to try and do. She obviously runs her best races in front and hasn't been able to get there for some time, and you know, she's is on the way up. Last week's run, she did drop back to the band 5 mares, which helped, but she definitely was an improver as well.
Okay. Is this race any harder than last time out?
No, I don't think so. It's probably the same sort of field, and yeah, like, you know, if we can recapture some of her form from last year, yeah, she can cut a pretty big mile in front.
Okay. What has it been with Eloisa Dale this time in? So she's had the 4 runs back now. Her best effort was her most recent start. Has it just taken a little bit of extra time to work her back to full fitness?
Yeah, I think so. You know, she had, you know, quite a big layoff, and you know, she come back, and yeah, you know, she could get back into fitness, and she come back at a pretty high sort of mark, and you know, as well as you know, she is a front end horse and hasn't had a chance to be on the front end, so. Fingers crossed Saturday night all goes to plan.
All right. Race 6, this is the Open on Saturday night. Good lineup as well. RD's flash lines up here. First time in Open company grade. He's up against some of the big boys, including Turn It Up, Manila Playboy, and you're sandwiched in between those 2 runners. How do you assess his chances?
Look, I still think he's got a very good chance. Obviously, he's up in grade a little bit, but you know, when you sort of look back a few runs ago, we just got beat by Speak the Truth, and if he was in here, we'd definitely think of him as you know, a genuine free-for-all horse. He's probably one of the best horses in the country, let alone the state. So, yeah, I'm sure he's going to hold his own, and you know, it's obviously going to be a race with plenty of gate speed early. So we'll have to wait and sort of see where we'll end up being. But you know, he has got gate speed himself, but doesn't need to be in front or doesn't need to be on pace. He can come from behind as well. So. Just have to wait and see.
All right. Looking back at his most recent start here, he chased home Whisper a Secret. When you crossed the line, were you initially a little disappointed that you didn't run second there?
Yeah, I was. I was a little disappointed in his performance at the time, and then I sort of went back and analysed splits and watched the replay, and he was still doing his best work on the line, which I was really pleased with. You know, he sort of toughed it out. He had to come solo 3 wide and 3 wide in the bend, and didn't get to use his best asset of the speed, but he toughed it out really well.
Okay. Was this always the option for him, or because of the good prize money, you just decided to roll the dice with him here this weekend?
Yeah, well, the prize money split was probably the main reason. He, you know, it's getting close to being double the purse of the band 2 to 4, and you know, if we're looking at races later in the year like the Rising Sun and those sort of races, you know, he probably needs to step up and be able to race these opens.
Yeah, it seems a perfect opportunity, doesn't it? Just to sort of dip the toe in the water and see where he fits in.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you know, if it fails, well, we just go back next week to the cheaper race, and yeah, nothing lost.
All right, race 7, the Changeover Classic, the main race on the program on Saturday night. Our Sweet Delight. I'm fascinated with your thoughts on this guy. 2 starts now, beaten first up behind the stablemate Utterly Swede, and then he bounced back with a dominant performance last time out. And the form out of that race has been franked as well. We've seen French Fries come out and score. How does this guy rank for you?
Yeah, look, I've got a reasonably good opinion of the horse, and yeah, I was a little disappointed first up, but obviously he come back second start and did that quite comfortably. So you know, and both runs have been, you know, pretty impressive times. His first run was on the clock was really good, probably one of the fastest 2-year-olds of the year. So yeah, look, he's got the good draw Saturday night. It's definitely, you know, a tough test for him. You know, the black and white army are out there. They've got good, strong team of 2-year-olds, and they're going to be tough to beat. But yeah, I wouldn't swap my guy for any of them. All
right, just going back to the first start, why were you disappointed?
Well, main reason being, I believe he's better than Utterly Sweet, and we got beat by him. But you know, he moved really good off the back, and I took the opportunity to sort of drop him in behind in the bend there, and it seemed like the right option at the time. I thought he'd just sort of pop back out and pick up and go, but yeah, I probably just broke his momentum a little bit too much, and he sort of switched off too much, and when he came back out, it took him a little while to get going. He was doing his best work on the line that night, but yeah, probably just needed to keep that momentum rolling. All
right, you've made gear changes?
Only slight gear changes, but yeah, he seems good. Fingers crossed, everything goes well, and you know, he seems like a really genuine little racehorse, so fingers crossed it all works out good.
All right, just the 7 runner. A deep race though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, it's only early in the year for the 2-year-olds, but certainly seems like there's a good sort of batch of 2-year-olds around.
Okay, the last race on Saturday night. This is the 3-year-old. Did you have the choice here between Attachment and the Janitor?
Yeah, I had the choice. Chantel drove the Janitor in a qualifier a few weeks ago and was pretty happy with him, so she opted to go that way, and yeah, I sort of stuck with attachment.
All right. Were you happy with attachment last time out? He was able to fly off the gate, lead and score comfortably. Was that the sort of confidence-boosting win he needed?
Oh, I think it's what he needed. I don't know if I'm ever happy with him. Always living in shadows of his big brothers, so he probably needs to step up to do that. But yeah, look, he couldn't have done any more. Time was strong, and yeah, he's probably only going to keep getting better as the year goes on.
Can he lead here?
Well, he has got a lot of gate speed, so if we opt to use it, yeah, possibly. But obviously, the harder you go early, the less you're going to be able to finish.
Okay, and the janitor, he was really impressive last time out. He's still raw and inexperienced, but there's a motor there to work with.
Yeah, definitely. He looks like a nice horse in the makings. He's still a little goofy and does a few things wrong, which even when he won last start, he was still doing that then. But hopefully we can sort of fast forward a few months and he'll be a sort of maybe a Derby horse if he can get his manners right.
All right. I'm tipping your mood will be dependent on Saturday night, depending on how Our Sweet Delight performs in the Changeover Classic.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we get a bit of a sweet run into that, and we can get in the zone for that. Hopefully.
All right. We'll be cheering on the fillies down in Sydney in the Oaks.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a big night for the stable around.
All right. Appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries. Thanks, Chris.
Time now to get the thoughts of Narissa McMullen. She jumps into the hot seat to give us her thoughts ahead of her drives on Saturday night. And she's with us now. Narissa, as always, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
Rockin' Penny, that's your first drive. Race 3, number 7. It's a bad gate, but tell me this. Is it only a matter of time before he wins one here on a Saturday night?
Yeah, definitely. I think he just needs a draw and he'll be winning. Hasn't had any luck at all with draws since he's been in Queensland, but he's racing really well.
It's quite unbelievable how unlucky he's been since he's been based here in Queensland. Whether he just can't get draws or just luck in running, everything seems to be going against him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He had to go back last week and finished off really well.
So what do you do here from 7 on Saturday night? You go back and you just hope that they go a million miles per hour up front?
Yeah, that's it. I think we just go back at the start and look for a card into it. I'm sure he will finish off good again, but we're going to need plenty of tempo in the race.
Okay. Just opposition-wise, how does this field stack up compared to last week's race?
I think it's probably similar. I think he is up to him, but yeah, the draw just hurts him.
Okay, but we've got to keep following.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, that's Rockin' Penny in race 3. What about race 4, your own horse here, Bobby Waterhouse? He's in super form, really strong winning last time out. You're obviously happy with the way he is right now.
Yeah, really happy with him at the moment. He's been really consistent and, yeah, last start was super. He relaxed well, so hopefully he can again this week.
He's done a good job since coming across from New Zealand. I think he's gone 52.5 here at the mile. His last couple of starts have been at 2,138 metres. And he's really strong now at the 2,138 metres. So it doesn't matter if it's a mile or this middle distance range. He's very versatile.
No, exactly right. I thought he was better at the mile, but lately he's proven he can run the 21 as well.
Okay, looking back at last week, that was a good quality field. So this is certainly no harder, but the draw certainly hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he is a bit better on the front end, but in saying that, if there's plenty of tempo on, I'm sure he can finish off well.
And there's a chance that could sort of play out. Robin X1, my dad said too, Midnight Calm, Carter Grant, he's sweet. They can all fly early.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully there's plenty of speed on.
Have you got any plans going forward with Bobby Waterhouse, or you're just happy to run him through his Saturday night grades?
Just keep racing him through his Saturday night grades at the moment. Probably end up in America one day.
Okay, well, that's Bobby Waterhouse, race 4, number 10. Not having much luck with draws so far, 7 and 10. What about in the feature, the Changeover 2-year-old classic? Victory Buster. I thought he was more than okay on debut earlier in the week behind French Fries.
Yeah, he was forced to race in the death, and he definitely tried all the way to the line. He went really good. I think we'll just look to drive him with a bit of cover Saturday night and see how he goes against a good quality field.
Okay. Have you been happy with him right through, and even with that first start there on Tuesday, you've been happy with the progression that he's making?
I actually hadn't driven him a whole lot, but definitely happy with his first up run.
Okay. Does he give the impression he will be better with cover?
Yeah, I think he's just got a horse that's still learning what it's all about, and he's definitely going to be better with a bit of time.
Okay, you've got plenty of power drawn to your inside. You've got more than handy types to your outside, so you're right in the middle. Where would you like to be ideally here with Victory Buster?
I'll just tuck him in somewhere and, yeah, just wait till late.
Okay, it's a good quality field. Only 7
is.
runners, but it's a good quality field, this.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, so you're happy with him. And then what about in this 9th race, the mare's race? This is the Open, Aphrodite. Did she get into a bit of bother there in the home stretch last week with Maddie driving?
Yeah, she looked to be travelling well and then got hit by a marker peg and galloped.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, one went flying and she copped it. So she'll obviously strip fitter. So can she be a chance here?
Yeah, I think she is a chance. She should get a pretty good trip, just somewhere handy in the running line, hopefully. And she's a horse with good speed when she's saved up too. So I think she'll run a good race.
Okay, a bit of value there. And those key runners in that race have drawn a little bit awkwardly there. So it could be interesting. So a value play there with Aphrodite in race 9. Which one are you most looking forward to?
I think Aphrodite's probably the best chance.
Okay, race 9, number 3, Aphrodite. A big circle around that one. As always, Narissa, appreciate the time and we'll see you trackside.
No worries, Chris. Thanks.
As always, a big thanks to both of our drivers, Pete and Narissa McMullen. Hopefully there's plenty of winners coming up for both of them there on Saturday night. Time now for a good thing or two. I think we can strike early here. I like the race setup of the first race with Pacifico Dream drawn 1, OK Boomer drawn directly behind it. I think it's going to be a case of leader behind leader scenario here. OK Boomer, he got it all wrong last week. First go behind the tapes. He's back behind the mobile here on Saturday night. His form is very, very good, and this is a perfect setup for him. So I like him. Race 1, number 8, OK Boomer. Hopefully he'll get the spoils, and we can play up our winnings throughout the rest of the program. If you are gambling this weekend, please do so responsibly. We'll see you at Albion Park. The Changeover Classic is the feature. That's race number 7, 10 races at Albion Park.